everybody, welcome back to Kicking It with Kruse. Welcome back. Good to see you, Queen. Good to see you, Queen. How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday. Happy back here in the morning, doing our TikTok store. I'm used to doing the TikTok stuff too much, guys, over there on the other world. Our TikTok show. There we go. That's what I'm saying. Good to have you back. What's up, Queen? How you doing today? Great day today. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day so far. Getting in the morning, getting your coffee going, which, of course, I got my coffee cup going every day, guys. You know that. It's going to be a fun show. A lot to talk about. We're going to delve into the realm of course, walking and talking and start talking about that show we've been working on here, new to the Kruse Control Network. And we'll also be talking about scene change with my friend himself. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back, Mr. Aaron Smith. Welcome, Aaron. How you doing? Welcome back.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing good. That didn't go very well. There we go. There we go.
Hey, everybody. Good world. What's up?
What's up, Aaron? How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing well. This is
fun. Happy a Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it's always happy on Tuesday because it's, just the middle of the week and getting started. Not quite hump day. So.
Not quite hump day. We're not quite there yet. We're working our way that way. We'll get there. It's also like that, that little bridge to the middle of the week. And I know everybody's still like pulling for the weekend, but I gotta say, I like Tuesdays. They're not bad. We're here live on TikTok. We're having a good time. There's a lot to do today. We're gonna do some filming today, which is gonna be fun too, guys out there. We're shooting the new episodes of Walkin and Talkin. Queen says hi.
Hi, Queen.
Queen.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It's going to be fun. We got a couple of episodes, figured out our schedule, how to do multiples in one day and, releasing once a week. It's really fun. We kind of delve into a random topic every week and dig out our personal stories, engaging with it, but also what we learn as we do some research and kind of figure out more about something that things that we thought we knew, but oh wow, I'm learning more as I go.
No idea, right?
Yeah. So
I do like that too. It's like we're learning new things, we're getting into it, and I love the following too. That people actually watch it live. They'll be commenting and talking along the chat. It's kind of fun too to see people like still engaging and talking and engaging in the conversation, even though we're not live during that. Which Absolutely. Is a whole different world for the whole Kruse Control world because everything's always live. So it's kind of cool to see that though too. That we're still getting that audience coming in.
Well, I also think that's a good way to continue learning. There's so much that we kind of expand what we know about a topic just by doing a little bit of research on it, and then you hear other people chime in and give their feedback, their input, and you learn even more. So it's great to have that.
I love it too, yeah. And it's like, I didn't know about that fact. There's a lot of facts that come up too that you'll have, or I'm like, what was that? And then it kind of goes into a world. Got that a lot during baseball too. There's a lot of stuff I learned myself during that walk as well. So it's
and about the neighborhood. Nice. I mean, that was a long walk. I think that was our longest so far, right?
I think so. And of course, that was at the end of the day. And so we were like,
yeah, we were pretty exhausted already, but it was great. It was a lot of fun to see the neighborhood and actually be able to walk by Echo Park Lake. And it was like really busy. I mean, there's a lot of people out. There were people in the swan boats. And it's great to see LA like that too, just with a lot of engagement and people having a good time out and about.
Yeah, it's nice to see it like that. But I think also too, on a game day too, you wouldn't have expected all those people to be there. They bet the baseball game, but there's still a lot of people just bustling around town having a good time, which I think is great.
Yeah. Well, last night I'm sure there's a few people who are still sleeping in because that was a late game. That was it was almost like a record-breaking long game, right? 18 innings, I think.
Oh, last night. Yeah. That was wild last night. I was actually kind of shocked. I know we were texting back and forth, but I was like, they're going to go to 20. At this point, I think they're just rigging it to go to 20 just to get there. And then the home run happened, and I was like, oh, there we go. That's it. All right, cool.
Yeah. They had a lot of close hits that were just short of the wall. And it was like, come on, please, end it.
Yeah, every time pop fly, like, oh, nope, out. Pop fly, out.
Totally. But yeah, it was amazing. What a game.
What's up, Michael out there? And Queen says baseball was invented by Abner Doubleday. That's all I know about baseball. Abner Doubleday.
Yeah, but that's more than I knew. So there you go.
right. I had no idea about that too. And she's seen Field of Dreams. I like Field of Dreams. I like that movie quite a bit.
Me
Kevin
too.
Costner. And James Earl Jones too. My man from back in Michigan. Love James Earl Jones.
That's great.
Yeah, miss that guy.
Me too. Me too. I had his James Earl Jones reads the King James Version Bible. I was like, that's the only way to
Oh, really?
go into it. It's right
That
there. I got
sounds
it
epic,
on tape.
actually.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm surprised. You know what? You never know. My mom actually has Mark Wahlberg saying the rosary with her every night. So
Oh,
it's
no way.
her and Marky Mark doing the rosary every night. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is this? At first, I'm like, is this some like kind of AI? I think it's like, hey, how you doing? We're gonna say the rosary tonight. You know, I'm like, is that Mark Wahlberg? My brother's like, yeah, Marky Mark and her doing the rosary again. And I'm like, every day. I'm like, okay, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let's do this.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like,
whatever gets your routine and gives you that peace. That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely love listening to his voice though. He's James Earl Jones, that is. He's a legend. So even when he's the bad guy, right? Even when it's Star Wars and he's chastising his son in a pit, it's like there's something really soothing about that guy, you know.
Yeah. And he's not going anywhere. I mean, he may be passed away, but his voice is going to
Yeah,
be Darth Vader forever.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's a wild thing. You know, people keep saying to me, "Well, he's gone. He can't be." I'm like, "Well, he signed that contract. They
Yeah.
they they've been using the AI program for the past few projects they had Darth Vader in, and he was getting paid. So
Yeah.
he's not going anywhere. If you liked it before, you're gonna like whatever they're doing now. So
Well,
same thing.
that's a little preview into one of the episodes that we're about to record, right? We'll be talking about a lot of movies in that realm
The
of
sci-fi.
fiction and fact mixed
Mhm.
together.
Mhm.
There are a few things from that whole series that kind of became real because of it. I think, right? Like not the lightsaber necessarily. I know I've seen some weird TikTok videos and things that have pretty realistic and maybe too dangerous for for the average consumer. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of interesting things that come out of sci-fi, and I can't wait to talk with you about just how the imagination of some of these writers and authors and filmmakers becomes an influence on actual tech and on actual big projects, either for the military at first or and then eventually coming into a consumer environment. So,
I love it. We had some spicy takes out there already, guys.
oh,
My
good.
mustache is real. My mustache is real. Uh, and
Mine's fake. This is fake. Drew it on. Pencil it in.
And you guys, welcome to Kickin with Kruse. Your first time here. We just we kick it. We talk about entertainment news. Also, of course, Aaron and I have a podcast. We're doing our own show called Walkin Talkin, where we talk about different topics and kind of showcase how easy it actually is to walk around Los Angeles. And you can actually showcase the whole town in a quick conversation and see a lot of sights. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And this show is not about two guys who are talking about movies. We do talk about movies, but we talk about a lot of things. So, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we're not dating. We're not dating. Sorry, guys.
No. Married to my wife.
And Queen said she loved Conan the Barbarian. James Earl Jones in there. Yeah, James Earl Jones is great in Conan the Barbarian. He's everything he's done. I love it. I love him so much. But we'll keep talking about Walking and Talking in a second. We'll get into that. But let's just do, because you guys want to see a little bit of entertainment talk. Let's just talk about one thing quickly, guys, off the top. Mustache is real again. So Quentin Tarantino, guys, is stepping back into the not director's chair, into the actual acting. He's going back to the actor's chair. I guess the wardrobe trailer. He's going back to the wardrobe trailer because, of course, Tarantino will be acting the very first time since From Dusk Till Dawn as an actual, of course, lead character in a new project moving forward. And if you guys love Tarantino as director, I don't know if you guys remember From Dusk Till Dawn when he was actually acting all the time. A lot of cameos he's done throughout the times, of course, but never as a lead role now. But he'll be appearing with Simon Pegg, also Liam Hellman, and also U.S. singer Lizzie McCaplin in this new project called Only What We Carry. And his part himself, he's been playing, I guess it's a drama wrapped in a lot of like a meditation area. It's about meditation, love, loss, and a quiet courage that it takes to move forward. And his character is actually the character of John Percy, a character who arrives suddenly and stirs along buried truths in the narrative. So interesting. I think it's fascinating that he's actually coming back and acting in a principal role after all this time, because I just figured he would never come back and do this again, because of course he has his cameos. It's great. He has one more movie, as we said, Aaron and I were talking about before we came online. He's got one more movie. He's doing his 10th final feature. Then he's done, he says, and that's still kind of moving around. The movie critic was what happened. That turned into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 2, which is being directed by David Fincher and not him. And now he's waiting on that next big final script. So I guess in between he's going to get some motivation and some inspiration from acting again. So, hey, getting back into the actor's shoes, Aaron. Pretty fascinating.
Cool. Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting actually, because I feel like he's got a really high standard for his directing and for the films that he makes. But acting is a totally different thing, and it's a little more vulnerable maybe in a way, because you have less control and you have to give more of that over to someone else. But he's definitely a unique look and a unique character. And while I have my own criticisms of some of his past roles, I feel like he's probably putting more energy towards any kind of starring role than he would in a bit part in one of his own projects. And it's also hard when you're trying to evaluate yourself. So having somebody else be able to give him feedback is going to be a good thing for him. But it's interesting. I like it.
It's tough sometimes to be like, step back though. He's used to directing all the time, to step back and be like, do I like that direction? I feel like he'd probably be good about it, but it's also interesting when you direct that much, you're always thinking about everything else too. So,
well, he already did kind of say like, this is it. I'm only doing so many more. So I wonder if that had a little bit to do with it, right? Like just recognizing that he wasn't interested in continuing directing on his own. Maybe he wants to continue as a filmmaker in a different way, in a different capacity. A little bit of a scene change. I don't know.
A little bit of a scene change, yeah. I mean, it feels like that. Maybe he'll go into actually like this is his next chapter in his career. He's gonna be acting now all the time. Maybe that's what he's gonna get back into. Maybe he's just putting his toe in the water and seeing how it feels. Tarantino is his toes. Put him back in the water and feeling if it's good or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely has the resume, and I think the name and kind of like personality will bring people to check it out and see what it's about, which is really valuable. Like when you're talking about getting people to show up to the theater, getting people to watch whatever you're making, he's a proven commodity, somebody that will definitely get attention. And for that reason, I think it's a good choice for any director to cast him. But we'll see. I mean, can he can't kind of fill out these new shoes?
Yep.
Will he have that? Especially in a drama. Honestly, I actually was hoping you were going to say it was a comedy, because I think he would be amazing in a comedy. Did you say Simon Pegg?
Simon Pegg, yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking he's done comedy, right? Like
Simon Pegg's done a lot of comedy. Of course, he did Shaun of the Dead.
Exactly.
He also did Hot Fuzz, that Paul movie. Of course, in the Star Trek, even the Star Trek movies, when he plays Scotty, he's very much
yeah. And I thought that was maybe where the angle he would go with it, because he's a little bit larger than life, Tarantino, that is. So a drama is going to be a challenge for him. Honestly, it's going to stretch him in a good way, probably. But I think that's pretty interesting. So
I hope he does great. I hope he gets that itch back. 'Cause I liked him before, and Queen says he's done a lot of cameos. Planet Terror, yeah, Queen over there. Desperado, he did a lot of cameos throughout the time. My favorite film of his is Kill Bill. I love Kill Bill too. I love 1 and 2. I mean, there's 2 of them. Thanks for the pumpkins, John. But yeah, hey, hi from the UK. Hi to you, Miss Avery Harper. How you doing today? But I will say this, that I think that overall, though, I think he's a great talent, and I hope he does a great job in here. I hope he has fun. Hopefully it does start him to do more things. But I do want to see that last movie too. I think a lot of people want to see it, and let's get in there. And he never should have said it's his last movie. We had that conversation before we came on air, but he should never said it was his last movie. It just kind of leads to all this like speculation and this, it has to be this great. It has to leave on this big exclamation point for his career. And I think that's tough to actually do and put that pressure on yourself and also on your fan base too, to be the best movie ever.
Too much pressure. And also I think like he is a unique filmmaker who kind of merged a lot of different things in his filmmaking, and has an appreciation for cinema and appreciation for the entire industry that is a little bit rare, right? Like buying theaters, reviving them, making kind of old films available to a new audience. I think that's in some ways the bigger, broader legacy that he brought. That I hope it inspires new people to do the same thing, because it's not just about making one film. It's not just about this last film's got to be so good. It is more about, I think, the community that it fosters and the way that it tells, broader a broader audience a new story that they're not familiar with. Like, we see the same kind of things that are relatable to our own lives, and we don't necessarily learn as much. So I hope he does stretch and continue with acting, instead of saying, I got 10 films left, that's it. And it's like, no, dude, just keep going and living your life and engaging with this art form, because I do think it takes people like him to re-inspire and reinvigorate some of the theater going and some of the just passion for filmmaking and storytelling that has waned in the social media age. Like, there's a lot more that we can put our attention to. There's so many different screens now.
Everywhere.
To
Your
show
hand.
up to the theater, to buy a ticket, to like do all that, to be present for it, and to be engaged and care about it the whole time. It's a different thing. It's not this intermittent thing where we're just on our phone and then we're on a TV and then it has to be committed. That effort, going to the theater, you're committing to one story, one cast, one filmmaker's vision, and I do think that that's special, and it's something that, similar to the theater, live performances, Broadway, what have you, it's something that we have to kind of invest in and be investors in. So I'm excited to hear that he's even doing this.
It's
So,
amazing. I think he has inspired a generation, though, too. Like you were saying before, he's inspired a lot of people through his art and what he's pushing forward and putting out there. And enough that we keep talking about that he's doing all these movies and people want to see his last movie. I think that's a great thing. But I also think the art form, too, it's like, you're right, there's so many different screens out there, so many forms. I don't think people commit to, like, even to the theater. People still are on their phones in the theater. So people don't commit to one interface, I don't think, anymore. They're still distracted by all the other screens around them, as opposed to just harnessing in and watching one thing. And people just don't do it. It's very rare. Even myself, I'm guilty of it sometimes. I'll be watching something and I'll check a notification on my phone, and I'm like, it takes a lot of people to zone in and just watch that one art form and push away all the other distractions in their world. It's tough
yeah.
to do.
Someone was telling me, a friend of mine was telling me about these projects that are being developed so that you can tune out and be on your phone. And just like supporting that and enabling it is so like through the looking glass on this subject. I just don't understand why we would do that, instead of recognizing that there's something about your maybe flooding the zone and having just too many projects. It takes away that kind of like anticipation that will get you through the lighter moments, or
Buzz.
the pauses, the things that require patience. I mean, there's definitely like a place for that, and if you're not able to have like enough patience to wait for a punchline, or to wait for like a sudden moment or something dramatic that happens, then you can't punctuate those things in the same way, and we lose some of the tools that we've always been able to use in cinema. So I don't like hearing that, but I know that it's all about money. So there's
Kind of aimed
definitely
at America a little bit too. We're like, squirrel over here.
exactly.
What I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure.
Can't focus in. Thanks for the pumpkins and the love there, John. John also said, oh, is that Aaron from Walkin and Talking? Yes, it is. Yes, it
Me.
is, John. Maybe you could tackle the spider. I don't know what the spider is there, Queen, but
My fan or my
yeah.
hair?
I don't know. Or some other Pulp Fiction characters. So different character too. Kruse
Oh,
on the phone.
spider.
Gasp. This once in a while I'm on the phone, guys. The basic plot resembled Lady Snowblood. That's what Queen's saying. I have never seen Lady Snowblood either. And also spicy takes on YouTube. Good to see you, Miss Avery. Good to see you. That was a spicy take. I just let that lie. Some of these takes, guys, there's people popping in there. We just let them lie. But Tarantino, I think that whatever he does, he's going to succeed. People have buzz around him. I think people are going to go watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now. The second one, even though he's not directing it, the fact that he wrote it, I think that also encourages people to go see it. And then seeing David Fincher, just his name attaches everything. I still want that. I know it's like a little bit of like a sidetrack, but I still want that Tarantino Star Trek movie. That was supposed to happen. I really want that to happen. Rated R Star Trek. I just wanted, I say it all the time, I just wanted Sam Jackson to be like, get these motherfucking Klingons off my motherfucking bridge. That's all I want to hear. Yeah, maybe one day.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's
He wrote a script.
Kind of interesting. I mean, if he writes it, like that's I think that was how we got started, right? It's writing, and
yeah.
If he's writing it, I think it's going to be good. So that's the real metric for me. But I mean, acting, it's a whole new world. So
it's a whole new world.
What he can bring to it.
And I mean, it's done. They actually just finished shooting, so it's in the can, happening. Maybe he loved it, maybe he didn't. He hasn't said anything about it yet, so we'll see how he says. Because he's very vocal, so I guarantee he'll tell us how he felt about it at the end of the day. And then Queen said, I don't think Tarantino and Star Trek match. And the Spider was a masked crime fighter who resembled the Shadow. Remember the Shadow? The Shadow was a great. I actually like the Shadow a lot. Alec Baldwin as the Shadow was, the Shadow knows. I think he did a good job, actually. That was back when Alec Baldwin was like the leading man, like, oh, he's dark and handsome and all that, So I think he did really well back those days. But
when was that?
That was in the 90s, right? Maybe 80s. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Okay. It's like when you think about Liam Neeson back in the day too, and he was like Dark Man, and how like he was like that kind of leading, like, oh, the rugged man before, and now we just think of him as being like the older action star. So
I still think of 30 Rock being peak Baldwin. Like
that was great Baldwin.
His character was so good. It's just he's good in comedy.
When he found comedy, it was fun, went crazy with it. I loved it too. So, but comedy sometimes is that great switch for actors too. But it's also like we were talking about on the show about Jim Carrey's doing more drama stuff, and he's trying to push towards that too, which I think he's done great with that too. So I mean, you never know. Don't put people on a box. People on a box sometimes. I think that it just it stops people from actually having more creative willingness to put themselves out there different ways. And don't stay in a box, guys. Let yourself do other things. Goes
Absolutely.
a long way.
Again, that's what Scene Change is about, right? Like
that's what Scene Change is.
Finding ways to bring their talents from one thing that they've pursued for a long time into a totally new square, new box, new field, new endeavor, whatever it is. So yeah, I think it's actually really great to see people doing this and kind of branching out and finding ways to express themselves. That is a challenge and not something that they're comfortable with and have a ton of accolades with, but to actually stretch themselves in that way. So that's really healthy.
It is really healthy, and I love what you're doing with that too. People are stretching themselves out. You're talking to people about these situations that are changing their life, having that scene change, but also at the same point, like talking about the business. And there's a lot of great conversations that come out of Scene Change. So let's talk about Scene Change. We talk about that because, of course, guys, Scene Change is Aaron's other podcast right here. There's the logo around. Check out Scene Change. I'll attach it all here. You guys have probably seen us talking about this for a while. I'm excited because the season's ending, right, Aaron? The season's coming to an end.
Yes, it is. Today we released our last episode of the season, and
hey, congratulations! There we go. That's what I'm saying.
From stay in LA for the whole season, and we got the last episode, so we're excited about that. We had Noel and Kale talk about their experience getting the petition together for getting incentives passed, as well as creating like a structured or a tiered system for permitting in order to bring production back to Los Angeles. Because
that's awesome.
This is the place where, as you'll see if you do watch Walkin Talkin the first episode, this is where the big studios are. This is where the history is. This is where the people who've invested their lives and their careers in this form of storytelling, where they've got a lot of expertise and a lot of equipment, infrastructure, all of the things that it takes to make great movies and TV. And to kind of send that away is to lose a lot of the basically institutional knowledge that you don't want to lose. You're starting from scratch, whether it's something as simple as health and safety, and seeing accidents that really were preventable happening in other states and other countries. Or it's something story related, something in terms of like, okay, we've seen this before. We've seen these mechanisms before. It's a great first effort, but it feels too film schooly. Like, what is going on with this movie or this show? We grow and we learn every single year, production, decade, whatever. Like, we learn from the last thing we did, and you can't make the same things over and over again and expect them to be, I think, viable commercially or to resonate with an audience. So it is important that we keep that institutional knowledge. And so this episode, we were definitely getting into a little bit of the weeds with some of the legal stuff and some of the problems
Which
and
you
why.
have to.
Yeah, you have to kind of go there. And it was actually great to see a makeup artist, Kale, getting into Emmy award winning too, getting into legal things, getting into the relationships that are really necessary to make these changes at the top levels of government. Realizing that city officials aren't talking to each other, that there are problems, or I guess expectations of the way something should be done that is changeable. And the only reason it's not changing is because people who are in film and TV aren't in those conversations. They aren't there to advocate for the production side of things and saying, this is really a deal breaker because of this rule that is not that important to anybody. It becomes a deal breaker. So finding ways to actually update some of the expectations of how a production should work and what requirements are really necessary to make sure that everyone is safe, everyone gets the job done in an efficient way, but also that it's viable. Because
Yeah.
if you get to know right away and you say, well, that's it, we can't do it, that's not a solution. Like, whenever we're on set, when we're working on something and the answer is no, it's okay, but we yes and we find a way to kind of say, how can we satisfy the needs of the production, uh, instead of just letting it be a closed door. Let's open a window. Let's figure out a solution in order to
Adapt.
tell this story and adapt. Exactly. So I think it was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited that there are people creating organizations like Stay in LA. It was really started this year. I mean,
It's a big one. I've seen it all
came
over the
after the
place too.
fires, and it's not something that's been around forever. It's something that I know. Maybe Stay in Atlanta is the next one to be. There's going to be other places that need to learn from their efforts and recognize ways that they can keep production not just happening, but also happening close to the locales where we can do it well, where we can be efficient. So check out that last episode of Scene Change, because it's a really good one, and I do think that having the conversations is a big part of it. That was a big thing. Showing up, going to town halls, going to the opportunities where you can have your voice be heard, where you can go to a microphone and share your specific story, and how these laws or these rules that have been in place for a long, long time are actually negatively impacting your community. Those things really do matter. And if you're not able to, or if you aren't willing to show up, and then it's you're speaking for someone else, I guess, is kind of what it gets down to.
Which
we're
people
not,
need a voice.
yeah, we're not only being represented by our officials, but we represent the people who couldn't show up to that town hall. So it really does matter for anyone who can, anyone who's able to assemble and find a way to have their voices heard. So it's a fun episode. I hope everybody checks it out. And we had a really great season. A lot of really good, great film and television professionals sharing their stories, sharing their scene changes, and the ways that they're kind of taking those risks, branching out like Tarantino, and getting their hands dirty in a brand new endeavor of some sort, a new career, or a new designation within the same career, climbing the ladder, whatever it is. It does take a lot of courage to do that. So we're excited and happy to highlight those stories. So
I love that you are covering all those stories, and also the idea you're covering this whole, the LA thing is like we've been trying to save LA, and I've been hearing about this organization like all over the news, especially as we've been talking about the tax incentives coming back, and everyone being like, how do we actually fix this, and how do we get some legislation change? How do we actually stand up so LA can actually be protected and the jobs don't all keep going away? So the fact that how'd you get them to come on the show? Like, how'd you get that connection? Where'd that come from?
Danny is the best at networking and getting all that together. He's kind of he has a way with schmoozing that I need to work on myself, but I have to give Danny all the credit for that. He had that plan, and I was like, well, hey, this is our last episode. This is the chance to do it. So I hope you can get them to agree. We were able to schedule it, and actually, one of the big changes we made this season was we incorporated video. So it's a video podcast.
I love you did
now.
that too. I love it too. It's great.
It's great because it's easy. I guess we're just using our laptop cameras, and they seem to do the trick. But I think the big thing that I underestimated with the first season is just how much of the audience can be broadened by that little detail. But we were also trying to get together in a garage, sit across the table from people, and have that personal connection. And I think that ended up being a limiter. So in this season, we've not only got video, but we're doing them remotely, and that allows us to schedule things a little bit more freely and do make connections with people who are across the country, people who are not necessarily that available and have a limited amount of time. So it was a big opportunity because we were able to do that technically. So
welcome to the digital world, right? The
Yeah,
digital world.
exactly.
Here we are. You're on the grid.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I think it does help a lot too. I think people don't realize, like, when you start doing it this way, ever since, of course, all the pandemic and all that, we were able to actually start doing this more and making our own shows. And it's a new revolution. It's going to change everything the more we keep doing it. People are making their whole careers doing stuff like this too, and they're right here and they're just talking, and it's simpler than it used to be, and it's much more streamlined than it used to be too. Even when you were doing it probably the first season, there probably wasn't even all of these elements you could actually utilize to change the show into a virtual video format like you have now. Like even like Google Meet, which you're using too, they have all those tools. We didn't have that before. We really didn't.
Some of it is just trying to stay up with and ahead of the technology, what's available, and realizing we do actually have quite a few tools that can be used in new ways. And so much of like the way that we've always done it, or the way that we think about things, is the main limiter. Like the tech is there, but the way that we engage with it is the barrier. And I think that's kind of what we're doing with, to plug another one of our shows, right? That
Walkin
we're talking about. Hey, we're talking about it. Walkin and Talkin is the same kind of thing, because we are not doing this with the expectation of having a big crew and a big production. It
Very
really
simple.
is just you and I walking and sharing a conversation about a topic that we're interested in, and photographing ourselves and running the risk of looking like tourists. We're in our own home. But just kind of being able to incorporate a little bit of this new way of thinking, new way of doing media, using the tools that we have at our disposal. And I think baking that into the premise of it is actually one of the cool things, because there, like you said, there are so many influencers, so many people on TikTok and YouTube who are talking about a subject that they really care about, something that they're technically experts on, and they find an audience. And I think that's actually a really profound thing that Hollywood needs to pay attention to, that the big streamers need to pay attention to. Podcasting is obviously a big part of that. But in general, just seeing that there's, in a sense, a lot of wasted potential until you are willing to use the tech in your favor like that. So
utilize it, change it, make it work for you too, and like put yourself out there and put your voice out there. A lot of people don't do it, and what we're doing too, it's very simple. It's very simple, but it's also very difficult at times too, with the iPhone and the selfie stick, and we're using both cameras. That's also wild. I mean, I don't even know how it worked when we first figured it out. I'll dive into that more. Hold on, we got the Dweller out here saying, "Oh no, you're a normal-looking guy. There must be something wrong. Let me listen." Well, welcome, the Dweller. The guy at the top, suspect why you in disguise. Show your face. Why are you hiding behind that mustache?
It is a big mustache. I mean, I hope is it getting bigger? I feel like
I think it's
it's
getting
gotten
bigger.
longer.
As the show is progressing, it's actually getting longer. I think I'm gonna have it for like another month or so. Not a month, maybe week. I don't know. We'll see about the mustache, guys.
You're gonna have
I
to name this persona.
I know, right? People they call me the Mustache Man on TikTok now. And it's like Mustache Man is here, and I was like, all right, I'll take it. Uh, Queen said, "Scene change, cool name, yeah, Queen. It's a great name, right? Scene change. The studios are looking for ways to undercut actors." That happens. I mean, I think overall, though, we just need to save the business so we actually keep the jobs here. That's the biggest fight, I think, more than the underpay is keep the jobs actually here. And do they really need to go overseas and make movies now? No, they don't need to go overseas and make movies. They should be doing them right here. We have the infrastructure here, or in Georgia, or in New York. There's infrastructure across the whole country. Of course, we have the biggest, I think if you think about it, the generation, like the built-in people to do this job. And of course, everybody comes here from across the world a lot of times to do this job. So I think the infrastructure is the best here, and I think it sucks that we're going overseas, but it's a battle against the studio. You got to keep fighting it. It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
All comes down to the dollar bill.
That's something that I know stay in LA sounds like it's very, LA, it's so LA centric. But the reality is, if you are experiencing a boom and you're like, I'm glad LA is suffering, we're benefiting from that. How long is that going to last? The reality is, it's a moving target. And if we're not recognizing that investing in one place is great, but if you're going to abandon it, ultimately, it's not really great. And the communities that grow around any kind of industry need to have a little bit of confidence and know that this is going to be somewhat long term, that there's going to be some security there. So that we'll cover all that in the last episode of that dropped today. Actually, it's out just this morning. So
Yeah, everybody check out Scene Change.
it's called No Place Like Home.
I
So.
love that. No place like home, guys. Click your heels together. But I think I think it's great though. I think it's great that you actually got that organization, actual members from the organization, to come in and talk about it, because it's a big thing. It really is a big push. It's been in the news so much, so it's a great finale as well. Everyone's been talking about like what's going to happen, the tax incentives, of course, initiating them, how long it took to actually get the tax incentives to work. It took a long time. Like they were talking about for almost a year. It felt like. Then finally they implemented them, and now we're still waiting for, of course, all of them actually kick in, I should say, productions to start using them, to have that big force of work coming to Los Angeles. And they say Q4 of 2025, we should be getting them very soon. So fingers crossed. I know they're coming. Just a matter of course, crewing up, get everybody together, get them out there, and make it happen. What's up, Wheelchair Gamer? Speaking of movies, why haven't the movies been made? Everybody's saying about made in the USA. Why aren't they being made here? Because again, it comes down to money. Tax incentives. The tax incentives in the UK are massive right now. They undercut us completely. Actors are moving to the UK now. A lot of these big time A-list actors are buying houses in London, and they're actually setting up shops so they can actually do all these big productions there, making it easier for productions. So you have the actors, but you also have the studios that are the reason, the driving force behind it, if you ask me. You got to get the studios on board to focus on work here, talk to your A-list actors in SAG and have them start fighting for that as well. And then you can bring those jobs back to the US, but it takes both to tango to make it happen. And of course, the little guy that's working or the crew member that's working don't have the force a lot of times that those big higher up EPs have, and the big, of course, producers that are actors a lot of times. They got to change the game. But it takes conversations to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And that's why when I was running before, that's why I thought I wanted to have all those conversations. But we need to have a president that has all those conversations with every studio head, but also every union head, and start bringing everybody together on the same page. And if we don't have that, it's not going to change. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen when transparency and conversations happen. We don't have that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hope the best we do, but it doesn't happen like that fast. It just doesn't.
Well, and you have this platform, right? You have Kickin' It with Kruse, and you have, of course, pre-existing from Kruse Control, and I think you do create a platform for these conversations, right? Like you give us a chance to actually talk about these things from maybe not from an executive level perspective, but from a ground level. And in some ways, I think that makes it a little bit more relatable and a little bit opens it up so that more people can be involved and can actually discuss what it means when productions go away, what it means when it's like high and low and up and down so much. We've kind of always had that. Like there's always been slow times and get it while it's good kind of thing. But since the strike in 23 and before that with COVID, it was definitely like a lot of am I not allowed to say that word? No,
No,
but it's
no,
all,
no. I'm just saying that time. Think about the business, how it was
yeah,
hurting.
yeah.
It was just hurting.
And it became something totally different when you're just going, okay, nobody has work. Nothing's happening. Let's find new jobs. Let's find a new way to sustain ourselves. Or a lot of people moved. I mean, I know in that last episode, we'll reference it of Scene Change. Danny is working in, I want to say he's in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. And he got
He's there now?
he's still there. Yeah, he's going to miss Halloween because he's in Louisville making a feature. And that's great. I'm glad he has work. He is too. But to have to actually like leave your home, leave your family for the holidays when there's plenty of infrastructure here, it's frustrating. And it's like Louisville, Kentucky is not going to become a production hub.
Oh no.
If it does, that would be pretty cool. That would be amazing. But then are they going to be able to sustain that in the long term? If you create something that lasts even 10 years, that's not enough to sustain families and generations of an industry. And I think when we're talking about a very American product like film and TV, that's something that we want to make sure that we're investing in the hubs and giving these other alternative locations are great for a feature. They're great for a TV show setting, for additional days, all of these different things, but they're exotic in their own way. And that's because they're not the production facility. They're not the industry studio location that you can get the most done efficiently and find the ways to be hopefully competitive when it comes to the financial side of it.
Yeah, but you're right. It comes down to infrastructure too. The infrastructure is not there in these little towns. But of course, to have the look of the show, to have the look of the movie, you got to go to other places. Of course, depends what the script actually needs, and that's just what it is. And I totally agree upon it too. It's like that's why I say I love that when people are going to other places in the States, you can throughout all the United States. There's so many locations you can cover a lot of this territory in these scripts. But when and even going overseas, of course, for certain things, castles and things like that. Yeah, I get that. But like not every show needs to be on a soundstage in the UK. But of course, Louisville doesn't have a soundstage there either. And we have them in Los Angeles. We have them in Georgia, of course. We have some in New York. We have sound stages, but like those places, those hubs need to get those work. I mean, there's no point to going to the UK to shoot a whole movie on a sound stage. No. There's just not.
No.
It's like you really are just like hurting the industry itself by doing that. And if you don't know you're doing that, then what business are you in? Because I see what you're doing. Everybody else knows it too. So, but yeah, we have to go other places though for locations. What is ABC and CBS going to do with talk shows sets when they leave? Well, the thing is, like talk shows, I think are still one of the ones that are existing because those are built-in sets, built-in places. They're not going overseas. Those are still good so far. For now, you know what I mean? For now, they are.
Well, and that's part of like the kind of what I was talking about with Scene Change. We had that across the table, sit down, like there's a value there. And it's something that you do need to spend a little bit of money on. You need to be able to fly people out or get people in your studio in order to have a little bit different conversation. But when it comes to using the technology that we have too, we don't want to overlook that. There's an immediacy and an ability to schedule things. But yeah, talk shows, I think, are one of the most important ways that you can kind of get into conversations or sides of things that you wouldn't necessarily get in a short, Zoom interview or whatever, where you're doing two different locations and trying to connect through a screen. We all know, like sitting across the table from somebody and being in the same space with them, there's an energy there that is valuable and should be invested in. So
it's a lot different than actually the Zoom stuff too. There's also delays and all that too, which can cause like insane problems. Like I was even on TikTok one time trying to do an interview and it was like a 7-second delay. And it's like, what kind of conversation do you have at that point? You know what I mean? It's none. And I'm like trying to figure it out live when we're on camera. I'm like, this is just not great, guys. We got to work this out better. Like you can't get a true conversation happening at all. Just broken English almost. It feels like a broken conversation. So that's the one problem with technology, of course, but there is some great things to it. But being in a room is always fantastic. Like, and Queen says they still have talk shows. Just kidding. She says, yeah, there's still talk shows out there. And Queen wants to see a movie set at a comic convention. I would think that'd be cool too. I'd love to see a comic
good idea,
Queen.
Yeah.
Be an awesome. That'd be an awesome idea. Well, with Walkin and Talking, well, we're literally doing the covering is like different conversation pieces around Los Angeles as well. And like we did, of course, I know Queen saw some of it. She was watching. We did, of course, our industry one where we went from like Warner Brothers to Universal. We covered, of course, Paranormal's coming up this week. Can't wait for that one too. That's coming, our Halloween episode, our haunted one coming this Thursday. But we also covered baseball. We covered video games. We're covering different conversations, but also having a great walk around Los Angeles, showing the town, showing you guys it's not that far to actually walk to these places. It's more connected than you think. It is a big town, but there's a lot of cool areas you can walk to and see some great sights, and you get a great conversation along the way. That's the hope, at least, right? That's the hope. We'll cover some facts, cover some facts along the way the best we can, and just have a great time. And the camera system's awesome too. Like Aaron figured this whole thing out where you can use an iPhone. We actually shoot with both cameras on the iPhone. I try to explain this to people too. I'm like, we're using the front camera and the back camera at the same time. People like, what? Blows people's minds. I'm like, yeah, I didn't know you could do it either. But it's simple, actually, through an app, and bam, you get both sides of the camera, one phone, two dudes, one conversation. It's great. I love doing it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun, and it's lo-fi, right? Like we don't have to have a whole crew. We don't have to have all this extra stuff, and it's not like we're suffering for it. Like the whole point is to use the technology to our advantage, and make sure that we can actually make something that's interesting while having the ability to have the conversation. I can barely pull out notes while I'm also operating. So trying to like get some of these details right, it can be challenging, but it was a lot of fun downtown LA, like actually seeing, oh, this is way more walkable than I imagine it to be. Like I'm always thinking, oh, that'll take forever. It really doesn't. It doesn't take that long. I think it was cool walking through. I'm not sure what that plaza was that we went through when we went to Angel's Flight, but
oh yeah,
that was pretty interesting. And just kind of like going up some of these hills and realizing like, oh, it's not as flat as as I thought it was, or even just how close. This is an episode. I guess it hasn't come out yet, so I'm giving some spoilers away, but. Just seeing how close like Pico House was, and different historic buildings, historic locations that have just an incredible amount of history, to use the same word again. But like it is a place that feels like it's fresh and new, but realistically, like there is so much history just all around us here. And I'm excited every week to kind of explore that and learn more about LA.
Yeah, I think it's that plaza. I have no idea what that plaza was called either. But I remember we were walking through that plaza. You're like, Brian, why are we going this way? We should be going. I was like, I don't know, I'm following the GPS right now. We're going to see where it takes us right now. Which it worked really well. But guys, you'll see that on Thursday in a couple days, that new episode for a Halloween episode dropping, of course, called Haunted, as we were saying. Excited for that to drop. But these conversations have been fun, and like walking around, there are locations that are kind of all in the same area. Look at it like at a map, like look at all these things that actually relate to each other right here. And it's cool. And it's like that shows you how vast and grand LA is, and like how many different businesses are there besides video games. Not a lot of video game stuff anymore, but that's okay.
I think a lot of that's up in those buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to take an elevator to get to more of the video game stuff maybe. But it was actually interesting that we went to the Xbox Plaza that is no longer, right?
Yeah.
I just read an article in the New York Times that said that basically they're going to have Halo on the PlayStation platform. And I'm like, what? I guess maybe we scratched the surface of something here that we didn't realize was a bigger deal.
Something's
Xbox
changing.
is a big, it's a big console. It's one of the top 3 or whatever. And I felt
Microsoft.
like that was going to be a mainstay for a while. And then all of a sudden we don't see it there. And Xbox Plaza is no longer Xbox Plaza.
Gone.
Peacock, right? Now it's Peacock Plaza.
Peacock Place.
But
I'm
I
like,
think
what's Peacock Place?
that was a really kind of weird thing, to see that they were going to give Halo to another console. So, I mean, we talk about a little bit of that in the video game episode. Just the fact that are video games changing, dying? What's happening? Like, it seems like with Roblox, people are making their own games. Some of the appeal is actually watching other people play games. So
it's a big deal these days, like Twitch,
Maybe Twitch will be people watching people on the Oregon Trail, and they just won't even be using the new games. I don't know. But it definitely seems like the industry is going through some changes, some massive changes. And I thought it was interesting to talk about that and somewhat the commercial side of it, where you have to keep creating a product. You need a new handset, a new console, new games. The churn is like a big part of what keeps that going. But how do you sustain that? It's a lot.
Yeah. And especially like when people are on their phones all the time and they're not using consoles all the time, they want portability as opposed to actually a sit down experience a lot of times. You won't be able to take it any place. And when you're battling that, it's hard for consoles to exist. It's hard for video games to be the way. You have to evolve. You have to change. You have to find your way. And I think they are trying that, but they're still trying to hold on to that old art. And I still think that there's a room for it, but maybe what Nintendo is doing with the Switch works really well because you can do both.
I think
But
that was a good idea because it does at least accommodate that different way of engaging, right? Like sometimes you're doing it immediately with people in your family or your friends at home. Other times you want to do what we're doing right now, remotely be connecting to people, playing that way. And then sometimes you want to play alone. I'm not interested. I want to be kind of introverted and I want to play it on my own. Put some headphones on and do it on my own with a handheld device. And they found a way to integrate all three of those things. And I think that's kind of the way outside of the box thinking that they're going to need to come up with a little bit more in order to be to avoid what happened with Xbox
oh
or
man.
whatever is going on there.
And as Wheelchair Gamer says, don't get me started on Xbox Game Pass. The new pricing is insane. I get that too. The money keeps going up. And Queen, oh, you both said I'd be like a good game show host. I'd be a game show host tomorrow. Let's go. I'd be all about that. And we should visit a food court, Queen said, and get some free samples. We're talking about like a kind of food court situation.
Queen is way ahead of us. We've
Yeah.
actually got something in the works related to that. So yeah, keep tuning in to Walkin and Talkin every week, and I think you'll be happy to see what we've got coming up.
And we're going to shoot a couple episodes today. So after this, we're going to go out in the world and venture back into Los Angeles and see what we can find and get into some shenanigans. You know what I mean? So
Very innocent, but yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Very innocent, yes. We got some new tech we're trying out today too. Excited for that. The new selfie stick.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's still a big difference from I think the one you had on offer that I'm very grateful for.
It's
was
horrible. It's horrible.
Was
It
like one of those like extendable pointers or whatever. It was like an antenna, right? It's like a radio antenna on your car.
You tried to expand it, you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is not working. It made us even more like a tourist, probably too, right? Even more so.
Totally. But hey, it worked. And we were able to make do with what we had. And I think that's part of just kind of adapting and keep it rolling, right? Like I'm excited to put money where we need to, but not have to really go overboard because it is a little bit more about like the substance. Like you and I going somewhere that we either have been a million times but haven't really connected the dots, or just kind of exploring something that maybe we've neglected and driven by on the freeway too many times, and talking about topics that we aren't as familiar with. I mean, doing the research on one of or both of the episodes we're going to do today, I'm just like, there's so much I didn't know. So many things you take for granted about a subject. And you start to kind of gain the appreciation of where things originated, where things came from, how many centuries it took to develop certain things, and the people that are maybe forgotten, but are also still present, right? Like I told you, I'm literally looking at the coffee filters that are by a company, an inventor that we'll talk about in that episode. And it's weird. Like we have all these brands or all these products and all these different things around us all the time. And it's really difficult to appreciate them the way they might deserve to be appreciated and find a way to actually engage with the hard work that went into making those things, the innovations and the people behind them, unless you dig a little bit and start to read about it and start to kind of want to know, be curious about it. Yeah.
People like to not do that all the time. They're just like, oh, this is what it is. I just take
Yeah.
this and I go. And you take things for granted sometimes too, which I think is also a fun thing about the show is we're delving into these situations a little bit more and talking about them from a fact, standpoint, but also from our own experience as well, which is also a fun part about it too. And Queen says, is there a Central Park over there? As Wheelchair Gamer said, not really like a Central Park. Nothing really like that. Like big parks we could do. If you have any suggestions, Queen, let us know if you want to see anything. But we're talking about
This week.
Beverly Center.
This week we walked through Pershing Square, right?
Yeah,
Which is not. I mean, it was called Central Park, Los Angeles Central Park at one point. I think it had like 5 different names when I was doing the research on it, and it's not a park. It's like a
concrete
the top
park.
of a parking lot.
Yeah, concrete park. What's up, King?
Yeah. It's a sad story though, and I think that's part of one of the hard things about not appreciating the city around you and the parks and the things that have been there for a long time. We do need to appreciate them in order to preserve them. So hopefully we can do a little bit of that with our show too, kind of experience it so that when things become threatened or somebody wants to bulldoze it all and put in a parking lot, we can realize what we're losing before it's gone and save it, protect it. And that was actually what I really loved about baseball. Like we're walking to Dodger Stadium and talking about baseball, and that's all great. But then all of a sudden we're walking by Echo Park Lake, which was
beautiful.
At one point though was not beautiful.
Oh yeah.
At one point it was dangerous. It was dilapidated. There was really no chance for families and people to congregate there and enjoy the afternoon. And what we saw was like being in Central Park in New York, right? It felt like Echo Park Lake really did have an appeal that I was really proud of, and it was great to see it. And it does take appreciating it and not dumping your reptiles in there. And
keep those reptiles away. I know it was a conversation you guys are here about too. There's something that happened there, but also what they did with that too. They got you can actually take a little boat out there too and go for a ride as well. They really made it more of a family environment. They really cleaned it up, and there's a lot of spots in downtown that aren't that nice, and that place really does shine a little bit there. That's adjacent to again downtown, and there's a lot of stuff that kind of branches off there. You're like, where am I at? And you come into some areas that are very nice, even Pershing Square. That used to be really horrible at one point, but when they kind of cleaned a lot of that up too, and it's a process though. This town too, it's a process. I just don't know how you get it all to be like as nice as you want it to be too. So,
well,
but
what's the strip? We didn't walk through it or by it necessarily, but we kind of peeked at it when we saw City Hall. There's a big kind of green belt that goes past, I think, City Hall and the courthouses. There is kind of a park downtown. Maybe we'll do a walking and talking through there, be able to actually look at that and learn a little bit more about it as we go. But that's a cool space that they've cleaned up, and it really looks, it really feels like a different place. It feels like a place that you would actually want to spend an afternoon or take your lunch break or just be out in nature a little bit. And I think we need more of that. So it does take caring about it though.
It makes you be a little bit more attached to nature, away from the big grind, the stone, all that. And New York has Central Park, like Queen said too, which is nice to have that, but we don't have anything 100% like that. But we have more situations with those parks. It will make this town feel a little bit more, I don't know, lively. I don't know, a little bit more cleaner, a little bit, maybe freshen up the air a little bit more, because you get more trees in there. But I do like the idea of it. It's a little distraction from the grind of it all. But maybe we'll find something like that to walk through. We're finding new places all the time. We're talking about new areas to walk through. If you have any ideas, let us know. You should visit New York during the summer someday. We're talking about maybe eventually we go to different cities. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens with the show.
Yeah, we're open to it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ideas we talk about, so it'd be kind of fun. You never know where we can go with this. So, hey, if it blows up, we might be everywhere. So, you never know. All we can do is put forward what we have now, have a good time, enjoy the resources we have some great conversations, and see if anybody wants to tag along on that walk with us. And hopefully they do.
Yeah, we're looking forward to including guests in the future. So we'll have some extra expertise to talk about any given subject, and not just be our Wikipedia search history.
It's also kind of fun though with that too. It's like we keep talking about that, like having a guest come in, like come on for a 45-minute walk with us, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a little longer than you'd think too. I mean, I was surprised you did it with Chucks. I don't know if you're going to have any better footwear
Nope,
today,
I'm doing Chucks
but
again today. I'm doing Chucks again. I've not prepared yet for new shoes. New shoes are
that's
coming next time.
you're brave, man. That's pretty impressive because it is a bit of a walk, right? On
Yeah.
concrete, you're kind of like, okay, here we are, 30 minutes in, and we got another 30 minutes to go, or whatever.
I did pretty
Um,
well last time with the Chucks. I was surprised how I was like I made it happen, but I do have to get a good walking shoe or a good boot or something like that, a walking hiking boot maybe.
yeah, I need to find some kind of compromise because my running shoes are comfortable, but they don't have any kind of photographical value to them. They're just it's just like bare bones.
Hey,
No
it's okay.
style. No
We're figuring
style.
it out. We're gonna eventually have walking and talking shoes. Uh,
There you go.
just watch the merch is already gonna write itself here right now,
Right.
guys. Get the selfie stick. Do your own walking and talking. Yeah,
Yep.
but,
Yeah.
but join us. Join us. Check
Yeah.
out Times Square in Coney Island. Queen says, "Have you ever thought about using skates? Ooh, we get rollerblading, and
Rolling and
walking."
talking. That's another. Wow. It's gonna
It
be
would be
harder to photograph that probably,
Yeah,
but
and it would be a lot. I mean, I am not the best skater. Let me just be honest about this. I am not the best skater. I'd be sliding around the place and falling over and talking. I do my best, but it's like throw me on some blades, not great.
yeah,
No,
me too.
no.
I think I got to stay on foot.
Yeah, I'm more about that too.
Yeah.
But we got a lot every week we're gonna be doing this, so we got more episodes coming. Again, like I said, our haunted episode comes out. The final episode of the season for, of course, Scene Change is out. Everybody check that out too. You can find it on all your platforms, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, probably everywhere, right? YouTube, you can find it. Going to have a scene. What's this?
That's the logo.
Oh,
That's the
oh,
sticker. Scene
I thought
change.
this was like a protein powder or something you had from
No,
Scene Change.
no, just putting the brand on there.
I'm
Yeah,
like, maybe
it's
he's got a
there. You go.
protein.
You got a better way to do it.
I put the little logo on the little diagram today, or the little thing. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see on the flyer for
Yeah,
today?
yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Thank you.
I'm like, I'm finding little spots to hide it in to put it in where it stands out. But I'm like, look at this, it's kind of cool. Having fun with it all the time. But yeah, so check that out, guys. You want to watch it, or you watch it now. You can also go back and listen to the first season as well, still too. And keep watching as the show progresses too. Got a lot of great conversations, a lot of great people that are going through scene changes themselves in life, and also addressing some really important conversations along the way. So it's been fun. I was happy to be this season. I'm excited. So how long is the break? Do you have any idea how long the break's going to be, or are you going to keep going?
We're already talking about a season 3. It really does depend a little bit more on our availability to get all of the interviews together. But we're going to, I hope, start recording in January, so we'll have something for next year.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Keep it going. Keep it
Yeah.
rolling. I appreciate you doing it too. It's fun. And Danny's great too. It was fun to have both of you on Cruise Control. I'll have to get you both back on sometime and keep having fun. We'll have you on this Wednesday still, right? You're coming on tomorrow?
Absolutely. I'll be on tomorrow. Talk a little bit more about scene change, and also hopefully walking and talking too. I mean, it's really fun because I think we're just on the cusp of some really great stuff. And like whenever you start something, it can be a little bit rough getting going, but once you get into the groove, you can figure out what exactly makes it special. And even just having feedback, having the comments, and people talking about what they want to see, subjects that they want to see, I feel like that would be really a great part of it, being able to actually hear. We're just choosing like almost out of a hat, like, oh, this is a good subject, let's dive into it. So hearing people already giving location ideas and potentially their own subject ideas is exciting, because I think we want to do that. We want to feature topics that are going to be worth kind of unpacking a little bit more and learning more about it.
I think we need to do like maybe we'll send an email up or something like that. People can email us ideas or something they
That's a
want
good
to see in the
idea.
show. That
Yeah.
could be kind of nice, and just have that opportunity. Send us a message. We know what you're looking for, and then that'd be kind of fun to start picking up from people that want to hear what we're going to talk about, and find different trajectories too. If there's a spot in Los Angeles they want to see, that'd be a good conversation hike too. Maybe we can find a conversation to build into that as well, because we're always
Absolutely.
trying to find a theme based off every kind of walk too. So. And there's every time we're doing it, I feel like we're getting better at it too. So there's like some little things that happen, like the video game thing, but that's okay. It happened. We did it. Went through that time.
It was
You
a
know,
real life video game. We were literally the frogs in Frogger,
yeah, hopping around, not sure where we're going, what we're doing here too. Queen went through a rollerblading stage. Yeah, Queen. Any or any street festivals in your area? We do have street festivals every once in a while. We're talking about doing that. There's a big one. There's some we're going to cover with kind of like a street festival, kind of a food thing we're going to cover too, Queen. So stay tuned for that. But street festivals, they have stuff that happens every once in a while. Of course, on Sundays, they have farmers markets that happen. There's also the Beverly Center is kind of a cool area too that has like all these different markets. Maybe we'll touch on that sometime. But there's also something else we got down the pipeline. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
But it's been fun walking and talking. We're going to walk and talk some more today, guys. We're going to walk and talk some more. On the mustache. Well, we'll see. I'm just rocking this mustache, letting it grow. I know people are giving me some salty takes on that over there on YouTube, but it's okay, guys. I appreciate it too. And it looks like I'm frowning with it too. I'm not frowning, guys. I'm smiling.
Turn that mustache upside down, man.
Right? Get it curving up like, I don't know if I can do that. It doesn't seem like it does that, but I don't know. Again, it's a mustache. But Aaron, I'm excited to talk today about everything. We're gonna have a fun time. I just wanted to pop in, guys. Say hi. Good to see your queen. Good to see you're the king. I don't. Do you want to talk about something? We don't have to. We can just. What do you want to do? What do you think?
Well, I saw you had the musical biopic, right? The
Yeah.
Springsteen movie.
Let's
On
do it
your
fast.
breakdown.
Let's
We
do it
talked
fast.
about that. I
It's cool.
haven't seen it, but I want to see it. It's just that's probably part of the problem. Is I think even people like me who are interested and want to learn a little bit more about Bruce Springsteen through this type of movie are just not maybe as motivated to go out and see this kind of. I didn't see the Bob Dylan one. I know there's a lot of them coming out, and it's just not as compelling, I guess, as an original story. So
Yeah, it bombed really bad too. That's the thing. It just bombed really bad because I don't think people really want to see these as much. People are trying to say online that, well, it comes down to, of course, the Queen story. There was so much drama and sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and all that made more sense for something like that. And like Bruce Springsteen's always kind of been like pretty like low key, has great music, but no kind of crazy drama behind his life. So maybe that's why. Personally, I think people are just getting fatigued on these biopics right now. There's so many that have been popping out. Of course, we had the one with Timothy Chalamet came out to the Bob Dylan one that did okay, didn't do massive numbers, and the Austin Butler one did pretty good about Elvis.
right, Elvis, yeah,
I just think we're kind of falling into this world, and they spent only like I think it was Elton John, that made like $200 million. So did pretty good actually, but not massive, but pretty good. $200 million is nothing to frown on at all, But when you look at actually the Bruce Springsteen one, I think the budget was something like $55 million. And over the weekend they made 15 million. So not great at all.
Yeah, it's an uphill climb then from there. Yeah.
Even Jeremy Allen White couldn't save it. Everybody loves the bear, and it just couldn't do it.
Well, and that's partly why I think about what we're doing, and hopefully, just with the way social media is kind of cutting costs for a lot of media production, finding a way to actually make anything that you have high hopes for not on a shoestring budget, but just like in a more economic way, finding ways to not hit such a high cost, because coming up with that kind of money to replace the investment you made in it it's not working the way it used to. So I'm not sure how to advise this production in particular, but Because Bruce Springsteen seems like a really big get. Like that whole story does seem really interesting, even if it's not as dramatic, maybe as some of the other rock and roll stories, with real tragedy involved. But um, if you're making something that costs that much money to create, you've already baked in such a huge expectation for your box office. And I know that some of the best things that I've been able to be a part of had were humble, and they had humble beginnings and expectations. So when they did do well, they were able to actually make money. They were viable economically. Is that a word? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
They had some kind of place to go because the original budget wasn't so high. So there's definitely something to be said about like a humble budget and a humble
It
production.
goes a long way.
It goes a lot further, and if it's not as successful, if it's more of a bust, your losses are not as high either. So
A24 usually does like $10 million budgets. I think their biggest was $50 million for was it Civil War, which was actually a pretty big budget for them, and that's made money. But when you're looking at $55 million for a biopic, pretty much people just sitting around talking. The music, I gotta say, a big concert, so that probably costs some money too. But you're right. I think that people just you gotta get that lower, gotta get that budget down, and then you will actually start making money in more like $10 million films as opposed to 50, as opposed to $200 million films. Especially when you're doing that, you have big expectations. Like look at like Avatar's $500 million for the new one coming out. That's a lot of money off the
wow,
before
yeah,
you know what I mean? Before marketing. And so like if you're spending that much money, you probably spend 600 million maybe with marketing. It's a lot of money. You have to make up just to make your money back. And you gotta think about that. And Bruce Springsteen, as Queen said, kids probably don't know who that is. Everyone went to see Chainsaw Man. This Chainsaw Man movie made more money than the Bruce Springsteen story. If that tells you anything, I'm like, what? And then I think Tron Ares made more than it too. So it's like you look at this too. It's like people just aren't going to see these biopics. Of course, where you said Bruce Springsteen's not he's a big name, but I guess there's no pizzazz, no buzz behind it. Maybe they didn't spend enough on marketing too. I don't know. I really haven't seen
yeah.
much marketing for it. Really, I really just haven't. I was like, oh, that's out this weekend. That's what I thought too. I'm like, oh, it's out. Like I was looking through my Regal app, to look at movies to go see, and I'm like, oh, I should believe lost it off my radar. So, and it's also a weird time. Halloween, like everybody's going to see like Halloween movies right now. You're up against, of course, there's a new Halloween showing that rebrought Halloween out, the new popcorn bucket. You also have, of course, the Black Phone 2 has been doing really great. So I just think that it's a weird time to bring it out. Thanksgiving makes more sense, but then you're up against Wicked. I just don't know if there's an audience for this anymore. I just don't know if there are.
Yeah,
It,
it's unfortunate because I do think that it's probably a great story, and
yeah.
I know Jeremy Allen White did a great job kind of transforming into that role, and he seems like he's filled it out really well. But the question of why it's going to cost so much and how you're going to come up with it, the timing, and just the fatigue of like I think we've seen enough of these, or I'll catch it later on home video or whatever, but. I do think that there's more of like a drive toward independent movies, things that are a little bit more original and unique. And speaking of Tarantino again, like that's how he got started, right? Like it was the strength of the script and Reservoir Dogs and movies like that that are not leaning on big star power. In some ways, reviving the careers of actors who have the chops and are really talented, but didn't have the fame to go with it. In some ways, right? Samuel L. Jackson, who is one of the most prolific actors in history, if not the most prolific,
Love Sam
highest
Jackson.
box office or something like that. He kind of got a revival through some of Tarantino's
Okay.
movies and work, and he always had the ability. He was always that amazing of an actor, but to kind of have that potential be recognized and then supported in a good script with the attention to detail put into it in Pulp Fiction. I think that is kind of where we are again. Like we need some of the actors who haven't been in the limelight, but have the ability, and some of the filmmakers in the same way, to get together and work on some good stories, and keep those budgets as low as they can, so that
Whoa.
when it does pay off, they've got some kind of a product to actually bank on.
I do think that overall, like, yeah, keep that budget down. And I think we got to fix that whole trajectory of the business. I still want to see that Sam Jackson Star Trek movie. I'm just saying, Sam Jackson, Quentin Tarantino, as we're talking about Sam Jackson again. Lakeisha said, I guess they're a bigger budget family. Do you think bigger budget films would fulfill more than mainstream films? I mean, I think that, the bigger budget I think mainstream ones, I don't know, and that's a weird question to say. I think that when it comes down to, of course, these mainstream ones, talk about Mike Myers, yeah, Mike Myers movies made more money. Yeah, so like the ones that people know and they love, those are going to make money. But like the big budget stuff too, you're always opening yourself up to failure when you're actually putting that much money down to it. I mean, there's a higher risk. It's just what it is, a higher risk, because you need a higher return. So you spend 200 million, you're going to have a higher risk to make that back. It's going to be, especially how frugal people are being these days, and also because of like everything, that how expensive things are, and also movie theaters are suffering because of that too. And what's up, Prince? Good to see you, Prince Shiloh. How you doing today? Maybe zombies on an ocean liner or something like that. Oh, Queen wants for a new Tarantino movie. Yeah, why not? Zombies on an ocean liner. I'd watch that. Let's check it out.
Yeah, that reminds me of Ghost Ship. Remember that
Ghost
one?
Ship. Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good movie. I mean, it was, it's kind of a B movie horror or whatever, but like anything that's a little bit outside of what we've seen, that's something feels new, I think it's going to do well. There's a lot of desire for that. I mean, it just depends on kind of like the willingness to take the risk with it, I think, because it is a catch-22 in a way, to say like we want to do something that's new but has all of the reliable metrics that we're expecting to do well. It's like, well, those are two different things.
How do
So
we do that?
yeah,
I
but
don't know. I think this was kind of doomed to fail. I hate to say that about the Springsteen story. I just didn't have a good feeling about it. I wish it would have done great. I think it's a weird release, too much money. I mean, 55 million is still lower than I thought the budget was going to be, but still, it might change. Maybe next weekend it'll pick up, but it's not a good start. 15 million opening weekend is not a great start. Worldwide, by the way, worldwide. So it's not like it's even
oh
local.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that could also be a factor, because I don't know what Bruce Springsteen's global
following.
like appeal is. I feel like he's very American, born and bred, kind of like born in the USA, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a little bit of
In the USA.
just like a
Yeah.
patriotic side of it that might be hurting it as well. Not that that's a bad thing. I love that about it personally, but I don't know that appeals to anybody outside the U.S.
Me either. I guess the numbers say no. The numbers say no because nobody really went to see it. But then also, I guess that you're up against a lot of different movies right now at this point. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with Bruce Springsteen. But guys, unfortunately, it did bomb. Another movie bombing at the box office. I feel like I say it all the time. It's sad to say. I want to keep the box office going. I want theaters to keep succeeding, and I want opportunities for us to get together in a communal space to actually watch, laugh, and have entertainment together. That's a great way. Maybe we have to bring back more drive-ins. I don't know, guys, but we'll see what happens. And Queen wants more animated films, more animated to the big screen. That might do well, Akira, but Akira is still on the back burner for a long time now for more Akira there, Queen. But that's how it goes. But Aaron, thanks for joining me today. Good to have you here. Happy Tuesday.
Thanks for having me. It's great to talk about a couple of different projects that we've got going on.
Yeah.
Continue doing some more production with you later on today.
Yeah, we're going to keep it going. And guys, as always, like I said, check out Scene Change right now. You can check it on YouTube, but you can also find it on all your audio platforms right now. Watch it or listen to it today. The final episode is out for season 2, guys. Check that out. And Walkin and Talkin is still released every Thursday. Aaron and I walk around Los Angeles. We will be, again, a new episode for Halloween dropping on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, check it out and get ready for more to come every Thursday. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Happy Tuesday.
Thanks, Brian.
We're going to have fun today. We're going to have more shooting, guys. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you again back live on the interwebs tomorrow night on Cruise Control Adjacent. So Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate you. Guys,
You
watch Walking and Talking. Watch Scene Change. Have a great day. Thanks for being here on Cruise Control. Good to see you, Queen. Good to see you out there, too. Wheelchair Gamer, good to see you there. I know Maya got some weird conversations out there, some salty conversations on TikTok. The Dweller, thanks for being here. Take care, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Be back tomorrow night on Cruise Control. Until then, everybody, see ya.
Bye.